So this is really, again, I think this is one of the biggest benefits. It's shifting focus to performance versus a detailed invoice. Um, because you're better able to manage performance versus financial compliance. You don't get out of doing costing, right? So you still have to cost based on the cost principles or other pricing info. So you can't just make up costs and say, oh, it's going to be this. It still has to be based on the cost principles. If it reduces audit risk in the sense that if that project is completed, they will not audit those costs because it's fixed amount. It was the only way the government agency can come back and review those expenses is if the subaward is terminated before the completion of the federal award. And in the 2020 version of the uniform guidance, they expanded the definition of a fixed amount award to include grants and cooperative agreements. And I think that was a little intentional to nudge us along to start taking advantage of this flexibility. Next slide, please. So these are some of the benefits. I just talked decreased audit risk for both pass-through entities and subrecipients because you're eliminating that financial review. Shifting focus to performance-based milestones. It could also eliminate prepayment necessity for subrecipients. So if you have, if you're working with entities that cannot operate on a cost reimbursable basis because they don't have the cash flow necessary, one of the milestones could be signing the agreement and they get X amount of dollars versus going through this very complicated and risky prepayment process. And you could really see a reduction of administrative burden, especially for small and medium-sized institutions, just because of the award size and the monitoring activities for that. I think, and a lot of times this need for understanding between fixed price contracts and fixed amount awards. Fixed price contracts, are riskier, especially for institutions of higher education, because we're getting a specific amount of money to do a specific scope of work, and we have to keep working on that specific scope of work even if we run out of money. So a fixed amount award is it's a different animal. And so I just think there's a lot of education in the community that needs to happen for that. And then coordination challenges between milestone completion and invoice submission. So a lot of times, a milestone may be achieved. The faculty knows that. If Central is not alerted to that, we may not know to invoice. So I think that just needs closer coordination.